Hi guys, welcome back to the BMW Guy channel, and today we're going to be discussing my 2007 BMW 120D M Sport, and more importantly what it's like to daily drive a car like this. So obviously with it being diesel, one of the reasons I went for it was because it's more economical than a petrol, but I'm going to look at all of sort of facets of ownership, not just the fuel economy, because obviously it's a bit unfair because diesel has an advantage. So yeah, stay tuned, and what we're going to be discussing is essentially everything to do with the car, what it's like to own, what it's like to drive daily, how comfortable it is, and what sort of things I would suggest that you do or get if you're looking to get one of these cars. So yeah, let's get into it. So as I mentioned before, this is obviously a diesel, and the reason I went for it is because it does much more miles per gallon than my supercharged MX-5 did. So I'm currently getting between 45 to 50 mpg out of this car, which really isn't too bad at all. I do quite sort of long miles. I've done pretty much, or on average for the last 18 months or so in this car, I've been doing 1500 to 2000 miles a month, so it's fairly well used. These are a mixture of A and B roads as well, so as well as some motorway. So it's been sort of thoroughly tested, this car, and from that I've sort of been able to decide what it's like to live with. So yeah, let's get into it. So as I said, I daily drive this car, and I'm going to sort of talk about the comfort within the car, because this for me is one of the best bits about this car. As you can see, we've got these leather seats here with just about all of the adjustability. I know there is a seat option which gives you the electrically adjustable ones, but to be honest, this is fine. Sitting in the car, you've got literally everything you ever need. You've got the Bluetooth BMW professional system here, which essentially lets you link your phone, do all that sort of stuff, but it's not like the more modern X3 like we've got, which has the big iDrive system that comes up with stuff while you're driving. It's just a nice comfy car. It's well specified. We've got the multi-function steering wheel, M Sport steering wheel, and 6-speed manual, and essentially, yeah, it's just a nice comfy car. I've sat in this car for 6-hour journeys and done it all in one, and got out and not felt achy or uncomfortable or anything like that. So that's definitely one of the bonuses of this car. One thing that I have noticed driving it day to day that is a bit of an issue is the rear space, but I've covered that in other videos, so I'm not gonna really talk about that too much. Tyres as well, these are Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and they aren't too bad at all. They're nice and comfy. The ride on this car isn't actually too bad, given the fact that it's an M Sport, but that's partly down because I've actually removed the run flat tyres, which does make a massive difference. In terms of boot space, again, decent for sort of the class of car. I normally have about 3 bags in this car, sort of two this size and one that size, just sort of so I've got everything I need. And as you can see, I could probably stick stuff on top. If I run out of space, obviously I can just essentially stick the rear seats down and turn it into a van anyway, so it's no issue there really. But in terms of sort of weekend stuff, I've stuck a boat on the top of this car and various bits like that, so I've done a video on that if you're interested. So from that point of view, it is pretty robust and versatile in the things that this car can be used for. I've also had lots, like big chunks of wood in the back, logs and everything for the fire, so it's definitely been very well used, this car, but it is sort of been faultless. In terms of maintenance and servicing, I've done it all myself, so check that out on the channel. I've done, if you're interested in that sort of thing. Another thing I want to mention is sort of back to the fuel economy, and that is how much range you can have on one tank. So what I found with my old MX-5, although I was only getting 24 to the gallon, was also I was constantly filling up my car. I was doing it nearly twice a week, if not 3 times, so it got quite frustrating, obviously quite expensive. This car cost me 60 quid to fill up from empty, and I'll get about 600 miles from that tank, so it's not too bad at all. And it's just nice being able to just drive for longer, if you know what I mean, without having to constantly fill up. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, on this car. What it's like to daily drive, I mean, it can't be, there's not many cars probably that would be able to beat it in terms of comfort, drivability. Obviously we do have a few issues, but nothing that actually affects the reliability of this car. Like I said, it's been over the sort of 22,000 miles that I've owned it, it's been absolutely faultless. And I really couldn't ask for more. So if you're looking to sort of buy one of these cars as a sort of cheap daily, obviously I only bought this car for £4,400, and we're just coming up to 100,000 miles. So in my eyes, 22,000 miles, even if it does completely break, that's not that much per mile really that I've spent. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how your 1 Series is to daily drive. I'll be interested to know what it's like to have a coupe version. Obviously they're slightly less practical than these, and I actually, to be honest, I prefer the look of the hatchback anyway. But yeah, let me know what you guys sort of think if you daily drive your cars, and let me know how you get on with the petrols as well. I've never really actually driven many of these petrol cars, many of the the E87 1 Series petrols, so that'd be interesting to find out. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.